What's up, sluts? Bet you didn't think there was ever going to be a second episode of this bitch, but there is. Got a special guest here with me tonight, my buddy Manolo, also known as Empawk. Be sure to sub up his channel on YouTube for some sweet Mugen clips. We're sipping on some Angry Orchard here. Cheers, buddy. And we're going to be talking about Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse. Just quick tale of the tape here real quick so you got all the details. The Funhouse was written by Larry Block and directed by Tobe Hooper. It was released in 1981, and it stars Elizabeth Barrage, Kevin Conway, William Finley, Cooper Huckabee, Miles Chapin, and Sylvia Miles. And it's basically about some kids going on a little trip to the carnival. Was this your first time watching this, yeah?
Yep, first time.
Yeah, it was definitely my first time as well. Had you ever heard of this movie before?
No.
I definitely saw it at the video store before. And I think I saw this cover here with the fucking clown on it. So that might have been why I never got around to renting it. I don't know. I do know I've seen the creature in the movie at some point. Either on posters or on a variant like cover for the VHS or something like that. We'll get to talking about him. What was your overall first impression of the movie?
Well, my first impression was just the cover of the DVD. And that was just this clown. So I thought maybe it was about a killer clown, but it really isn't.
Yeah, he's not even featured in the movie, I don't think. If he is, he's not featured prominently. The axe that's in his hand is indeed used in the movie, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you think it was fun? I mean, was it, just overall, what was your feeling you took away from it? Did you enjoy it? Was it time wasted? I don't know.
I think the movie really brings out the fun in Funhouse.
It does. that should have been on the poster.
Yeah.
Okay, so basic gist of the plot is there's this carnival in town, it's established right at the beginning of it that the last time it was there, like previously in an adjacent county, people fucking died. Like the kids, the parents, everybody just knows that there's like murder that follows this carnival around. But they end up letting their daughter, Amy, go with her douchebag. Well, I guess he's not even her boyfriend yet. It's their first date, this guy named Buzz. And they pick up their friends, Richie and Liz, and they head off to the carnival. There's their little brother, who's a savage beast. We'll get around to talking about his bits. Well, I guess he has a moment of savageness, then he totally has a mental breakdown or something. But, she refuses to take him to the carnival, and he ends up sneaking off anyways, because he thinks she's not going to take him the next day, but his parents actually are. So there's a small subplot with the younger brother that plays out, but it doesn't really have much bearing on the overall story. He actually never interacts with them. So it's basically just about these kids. They go to the fucking carnival, and they decide that they're going to stay overnight inside the Funhouse. And the carnival's pretty sweet. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the whole idea of the freak featurette, and I thought that the whole idea of having like freak animals too was cool. I just wish that there was like more variety besides like mutant cows.
Oh yeah, the fucking cow with the cleft palate or whatever,
yeah.
The cleft lip. That is one of the most insane things I've ever seen. They also had a two-headed cow, which I'm not certain that one was real, but it did look like other two-headed cows I've seen. But that one with the cleft palate fucking honestly kind of scarred me a little bit, man. Like, that shit is bizarre. The movie's honestly worth watching just to see that. That's for sure not fake and weird. And you also, of course there's a freak show. There's a striptease tent that you can go into and watch some titty tassel action. They end up peeping in on that for a bit. But in addition to the mutant cows at the freak show, there's also a mutant baby. What did you think of that shit?
I think the mutant baby was pretty neat.
Did you think that was going to have like any sort of relevance to the plot of the movie when you first saw it, or did you just think it was part of the freak show?
The one in the jar?
Yeah.
No, I just thought he was already like just going to be there, preserved, dead.
Yeah, he's just, a random attraction.
Yeah.
What did you think of the badass drunk Dracula magician?
He was pretty neat. I wish he would have done more tricks.
Yeah, we definitely needed more of that guy. I feel like he had that act so down that might have been an actual act. Like, he wasn't just an actor, maybe. Probably should have looked it up, but feel free to look into that yourselves if you've seen the movie or if you're curious about it. Also, this is a good point to tell you that we're going to spoil the shit out of it. But yeah, so there's a drunk fucking magician in addition to all the classic rides and the freak show, the striptease tent. You also got a drunk fortune teller who moonlights as a hooker, giving handies to mongoloids in the basement of the fucking Funhouse. What'd you think of that lady?
She was pretty neat. I thought it was annoying how the kids were like harassing her when she was just doing her job, giving them their fortune.
Yeah, that was rude as fuck. She had every right to tell them that she was going to break every bone in their fucking body if they came back. That was actually one of my favorite parts of the movie, honestly. Her finally, like, breaking character and threatening their fucking lives. But yeah, just word of advice. Even if you think, like, mediums or fortune tellers or magicians or whatever, because the magician was mercilessly fucking heckled, too. When he was up there, they were like, get a real job, and all those fucking classic insults to entertainers, But anytime you're watching something like that, whether you buy into the gimmick or not, don't be a dick. If you're going to have a laugh about it, fine, but do it afterwards, not right in front of them. That shit was rude as fuck. And kind of brought down the fun vibe of the movie a little bit for a minute, yeah?
Definitely.
So that's, basically like the first half of the movie, right? Is just them kind of going around the carnival, smoking joints, seeing the sights. And then they get this bright idea to sleep over in the funhouse, which the kid says his friend did last time that they were through in that adjacent county where all the people died. I don't think he mentions whether or not the friend died. Obviously not, because he told the story.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It just seemed like everything pointed to not hanging around this place being a good idea. Like, who wants to go to a carnival that has a murderer traveling around in it,
Yeah.
I mean, if you heard that shit, would you want to go there?
Definitely not.
So, basically, they get this idea to hang out in this fun house overnight, which seems like a good way to get some ass, and they're about to do that. And that's when we get the amazing scene where the fortune teller is about to give a little sex to the dude in the basement there, and they're kind of spying in on it, right?
Yep.
And it turns out that, like I said, she moonlights as a hooker. What did you think about that whole scene? Because this is pre-reveal and everything here. So what did you think about the Frankenstein dude to begin with? Because the funhouse has, like, the carnival barker dude who's saying some sweet fucking ominous shit out front. Like, this will be your doom kind of stuff. And you have just a dude in a Frankenstein suit walking around out front. What did you think about that scene just in general?
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was neat that there was even a Frankenstein monster guy even pushing the carts around on the rails, or really doing anything. I was expecting more like just regular people doing that, operating the machinery.
Well, did you think it was who it was, or did you think it was just a normal guy in a suit?
I totally thought it was like a regular dude, just an ugly mask.
I mean, it was clear that there was something, like he was like mentally challenged or something when he was trying to get down with the fortune teller lady.
Yeah.
Just because he's like, making sounds and not really verbalizing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see totally going into it. You think it's just going to be some crazy dude under there, not what is under there. So, basically, he pays the fortune teller lady $100 to fuck him, and he ends up prematurely ejaculating while she's giving him the little fluff job at the beginning. I mean, that was pretty great, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's, like, all mad that, that's all he got, because she's just like, well, I guess that's it, and she's gonna take off. And he wants the money back, so he ends up, like, flying into a rage and choking the shit out of her. And throwing her against, like, an electrical panel, so she gets the shit shocked out of her at the same time. What did you think of that as the first kill of the movie? I thought it was kind of a letdown, honestly.
Kind of wish it was more of a struggle.
Well, and like we were saying, it's like, is he gonna rape her or something? Like, what's the point of all just to get the money back?
Yeah, that was really weird. I mean, it looked like he was like sexually frustrated, so I was like, okay, well, this is okay, a mutant that's sexually frustrated, paying to get laid, and then he doesn't even like go for it, even like after he chokes her out or nothing. He just leaves her there and covers up in the blanket, like all looking all peaceful and shit. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I normally wouldn't advocate for necrophilia, but if you're a mongoloid guy choking out fortune teller hookers in the basement of a funhouse, you might as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I expected.
She was still warm. He could have got one in. But then, he goes and gets his dad. At this point, they're watching all this shit through the cracks of the floor upstairs, like in the actual funhouse. And so they see this whole murder take place. They see him paying the hooker out of this big petty cash box for the funhouse. And they've witnessed this fucking murder at this point. So he goes and gets his dad, who's the sweet fucking creepy carnival barker. Easily the best actor in the movie. I mean, would you agree?
Yep.
That guy was killing it. And he comes in there and he's like, God damn, boy, what you did? Like, I can't believe you paid her $100. I could have got you one of those tent girls for 15. That was which is probably true. He seemed like he had the gift of gab, and he easily could have talked them into it or scared them into it. And we kind of are let in on the fact that he knows that his son, who is revealed to be a horrifying fucking mongoloid mutant under his Frankenstein mask. They should probably have him just ushering people in with his regular face. That'd be creepier than the Frankenstein thing. But we find out that, this guy frequently covers up for his kid after murdering people. So this is not a first-time strangulation for this mongoloid. And, pretty quickly they realize that there's someone upstairs watching, because the dumbass who went down and stole the petty cash after they witnessed the murder while the mutant was gone getting his dad, drops his lighter through a crack in the floor. What did you think about that freak out, though, that the creature had after, they found the cash was missing, and then you think the dad's gonna beat him, but then he just tells him to start hitting himself, and he's, thrashing around at that tool bench and shit?
Yeah.
Is that fucking nuts or what?
No, it was pretty appropriate. It made sense to me.
Yeah, this guy's just got total fucking mental control over this kid, and that actor in that fucking creature suit was getting into it, man. He was thrashing that petty cash box around. I thought he probably fucking hurt his hand, I would imagine, doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty believable.
But, they quickly realize there's kids upstairs. He tries to coax them down, and then they realize, they're gonna have to fucking go kill him. What did you think of the carnival barker and his, real entrance right there? His dad. What was your impression of that, dude?
Everything he did was great. I mean, everything, he said for the intro to the carnival, how he interacts with his son. I mean, there's a scene where he, apologizes for harassing his son. And it seemed pretty heartfelt, yeah.
It was very, very sweet. That is honestly probably my favorite thing, or at least one of my top favorite things about the movie, is his relationship with his son. At first you think he's super abusive to him, but then when they have that scene, and he tells him, oh, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to hurt you. It's just sometimes I get to drinking, and I forget to be careful with you. That was it touched my heart, Yeah. And then earlier he had said, God, I hate the sound of your voice or whatever, and then fucking he told him at the end of that whole touching moment that he really doesn't. And you're kind of let in on the idea that half the reason this guy is harsh on him is because he's pretty much flat out says it, covering up for all these murders is gotten to him over time,
Yeah, just stressing him out.
He clearly loves the kid, even though he's this freakazoid, creature. Takes him fishing and everything. That part was really sweet too. But I mean, I imagine covering up for your beast son murdering people takes a psychological toll. Yeah.
Yep.
I especially love that line though when they decide they're gonna kill the kids and he's like, "Take those gloves off, Junior. We got work to do." That was badass. The carnival barker and the mutant cow alone are worth watching the movie. And Drunk Dracula. That guy was awesome. So pretty much after that, you assume there's going to be this slasher movie type sequence going on. And the movie actually is, I think, improperly labeled as a slasher movie. To me, it's a creature feature with elements of a slasher movie. The second kill in the movie doesn't even come from the mutant or the fucking carnival barker. It's they basically lynch one of the kids up through a trap door, and then they put him in a fucking one of the carts for the Funhouse ride. And he's coming around, and they've picked up this axe at this point, and they just swing it at him, assuming that it's the mutant or the carnival barker, but really it's their friend, so they waste him with the fucking axe to the head. And wasn't it not fucking weird how that girl was screaming and following him with that fucking knife?
Yeah.
And then she falls down a trapdoor herself.
That was great.
What did you think of that? Is that a little more what you were expecting kill-wise for this bitch?
Probably not.
What do you mean?
Well, I wasn't expecting the trapdoor at all.
No, I just mean the axe to that guy's head and stuff. I liked the twist that it was one of them that did it, but that's kind of more the violence I was expecting because they peg it as a slasher movie. But...
I totally saw that coming.
Oh, well, yeah, the way they build it up, you can tell that it's the dude.
Yeah, because that guy's all shadowy and you can't see who it is. He's not communicating at all, and you know that if it was the actual carnival barker or the mutant, there'd at least be noises or warnings being hey, I'm coming in here. What are you guys doing in here? Or,
Yeah, they're not going to be quiet about it,
Yeah.
trying to just obviously creep up.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, it didn't help either that he has that classic, like, Donny Osmond style haircut, so he cut a very distinct silhouette. It's like, oh, it's totally that dude.
Yeah.
You can see his helmet hair right there. Fucking... I just think that the first kill would probably leave a lot of people very underwhelmed going into it, especially with it being described as a slasher movie. That second kill, and with the added twist of it being one of them that killed their own friend on top of it, is a little more in line with what I was expecting, at least. And then the girl that falls down the trapdoor ends up trying to seduce the motherfucker.
Yep.
Well, she does it as a ploy so she can stab the mongoloid, but I don't know if we're supposed to say mongoloid. I don't know if that's politically correct, but I don't fucking care. Like, we're talking about a fictional creature in a movie. Mongoloid fits. How would you describe
Well,
it?
I was already describing him as like a mutant earlier.
Mutant mongoloid, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that thing.
That just is what it is, man.
But she tries to seduce him because obviously they saw the fact that he's sexually frustrated, and he just wants like someone to do more than give him a hand job that he blows his load on too early. So he's down for this, and he's like coming for it, and she just stabs him, and then he just like scratches her to death. That one kind of underwhelmed me a little bit. I liked the shot from like the top of the vent, but we didn't even get to see any of it. We didn't even get to see like any of the damage that happened to her until they found her body later, and then it was literally just like scratches on her face.
Yeah, you just see him fall on top of her, and then it like comes back, and she's scratched up, and that's that. And you don't even see him leave. Like it like turns away.
Yeah, you just see some blood on his fingertips.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And he's like gone already.
If you're going into this movie for a bunch of visceral violence and like blood and gore, you are going to be disappointed. Because after that one was where the carnival barker, his dad, showed up with the little 6-shooter. And that's another really cool part too, because he's like, I'm just protecting my family,
Yeah.
Like, blood is thicker than water. He might get himself into trouble sometimes, but he's going to be, I forget exactly how he phrases it, but it's basically like he knows that his kid's not going to leave him. So when he's old, that mutant kid will probably be like his only companionship. So that's why he's so protective. So still being very sweet about it. You can tell he doesn't really want to kill the kids. But it's kind of one of those, well, we've got to now type things. And at this point, you might be asking yourself why they haven't just ran out of the funhouse, but they've locked it up for the night. So there's like no way for them to just get out the normal exits. What did you think of the whole battle between the carnival barker and Buzz?
It was pretty good. I really enjoyed the chase, even though it was like a really small space, and I enjoyed the ending where that guy just gets like impaled by like a medieval sword held by a knight.
Oh yeah, and then he wakes up, grabs Buzz, and pulls him into it, stabbing him in the stomach, and Buzz has to shoot him like 3 times to finally put him down. That old carnival barker was a tough son of a bitch, man.
Yeah.
Like, when he first knocked him down, I thought that was pretty much going to be it. He didn't capitalize on it either. If you get the villain in a movie down like that on, like, the first punch, ground and pound that motherfucker. Like, what are you doing just letting him have time to fucking recover? They throw down with some sweet fisticuffs. I especially liked the part where Buzz almost had him beat, and then the carnival barker fucking like rallied that strength and pushed him back, and he's like, you think you're real tough, don't you? And he started just shit kicking him for a minute. All the while, Amy, our main chick, who's the only other one of these kids left at this point, is just screaming hysterically and contributing nothing. What did you think of her overall as a character and her participation in the movie up to this point? We haven't really broke down the characters yet.
She kind of gives off that damsel in distress like vibe throughout the whole movie and doesn't really contribute anything besides that.
Yeah, I mean, she's just sort of there. She's kind of a bit of a prude, you think, at first, but then you quickly realize, like, nah, she's down to fuck, which is, I guess, one of her good qualities. She's a very beautiful woman, and was it just me, or am I just, like, kinky or something, or did she seem like she got hotter the more fucked up and, like, disheveled and scared that she looked throughout the movie? Like, I thought she was hot at first, but at the end when she was walking out, it was like, god damn, girl, you dirty up nice,
I think that maybe just having, like, more character reveal of the character really helps with, like, getting to know her, but besides that, probably not. It kind of looked the same to me, but it was nice to see her hair, like, a little more relaxed.
Yeah, and her mascara all running and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I am just a weirdo. I don't know. Yeah, fuck it. Different strokes for different folks.
Or it could just be because they had that one scene where they were gonna have sex, him and that girl, but they don't. It's get interrupted by the noises of the funhouse. So maybe that's why she was all set up like that in the first place.
Yeah, I still say they should have, like you said, smashed through it.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
It wasn't even that loud of noise, and they didn't even see any people or anything.
Well, but I mean, it was after the thing was shut down, so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's probably somebody, not just like the house settling or something.
Yeah. But they're already breaking the law, so
yeah,
they
just
might as
fuck
well
it. Like,
fuck through it and then get
if
booted
they
out.
had just started fucking and then got caught by the carnival barker, he'd have just kicked him out.
Exactly.
But, you know, that's not the way she worked out. Wouldn't have been much of a movie if it was just kids get caught banging in the funhouse and sent home, you know. What did you think of Buzz, the boyfriend? Or the first date?
Yeah, he seemed kind of like a douchebag. When he's first introduced, he's just like ragging on her father because he doesn't like his approach toward him.
Oh, like he's obviously like clearly just trying to immediately turn her against her parents.
Yeah.
And make her think that they're just a buzzkill, and she straight up calls him on it though. She's like, how can you say that? You don't even know my dad. Like, she's pretty straight up with him the whole time. Actually, I do have to give Amy some credit for that, because even when she initially tries to say like, let's go to the movies, I promised my dad we wouldn't go to the carnival, basically, and he tries to convince her, and she still just says she doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like the only reason she ends up going is to, you know, hook up with her friends. But, you know, what did you think of Buzz overall as the movie progressed?
I didn't really expect him to put up that much of a hassle with considering like the battles in the movie, because I thought he was just gonna be like some sort of asshole that like pretends to be tough and stuff, but like doesn't even
ends up being the first one to die.
Yeah,
type shit.
Yeah, or he's just like oh fuck this, and he just leaves and ditches the girl and all his friends. But he actually turns out to try to protect them, which I didn't expect at all.
He does a lot of proactive shit. Like, right away, as soon as they know that they're locked in there with the fucking mutant and his dad, who's, like, down to help him murder people, he immediately starts taking the real weapons that they have with the dummies and shit around, which is where the axe on the poster comes from, and sets them up with weapons, like, right away. When that girl's freaking out, he takes the time to be like, bitch, he's gone! Like, we can't do anything about that right now. We gotta stay together. He's the only person, I think, in any horror movie. This is the only horror movie I think I've ever seen where all the people successfully stay together the entire time. Usually there's that asshole that's like, I'll be right back, and fucking takes off and is never seen again.
Yeah.
Till the end when they find all the bodies. This one, they actually stay together the entire time, so that's kind of unique. But yeah, Buzz turns out to be quite the hero. Unfortunately, he was killed off very unceremoniously. He was off screen.
Yep.
Because after the fight with the carnival barker, he's stabbed in the gut, but he's got his gun now with like at least one bullet left in it. And the mutant pops down there and he's going to go after Amy, but then he turns around and goes after Buzz instead. And for some reason, Buzz absolutely does not capitalize again on the moment where the mutant is looking at his dad impaled on this medieval sword. And he waits until she's ran away and he's off screen to finally pull the trigger. He totally could have just put it point blank to the mutant's head and blew him away right there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it pretty much serves to facilitate the rest of the movie. If he just killed him right there, they'd have just walked away. Which, actually, I might have been fine with, you know. I like the final little showdown that she had with the mutant, but I kind of wanted Buzz to survive by that point, you know. All the while that this has been going on, there's the very pointless subplot with her little brother, who snuck out to the carnival and has quite the journey along the way, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of that traveler that he met while he was out on the road?
That was great.
This old dude basically pulls up on him. He's like, what are you doing out here, kid? You want to ride? And then before he can even really answer, the old guy just grabs a shotgun from his fucking rifle rack in the back of his truck there and just points it at the kid. And when he runs away, he just starts laughing his fucking ass off. And you can totally tell he was like trying to scare a lesson into him, right?
Indeed.
Like, you shouldn't be out here this late on this road by yourself. Like, you could run into some crazy motherfucker. But you had a good time doing it. I don't know, what was your thoughts overall on that scene?
I thought that thing was hilarious.
It was a good random fucking moment of humor to kind of punctuate the transitions there. And, you know, honestly, I respect I think his name's Johnny, a lot. He still went to the fucking carnival. Like, I expected him to run home. I thought that was going to be it for him.
Yeah.
Do you think he was going to truck on and Still go to the carnival?
Definitely not.
I fucking wouldn't have. If some old guy with rotten teeth pulled a shotgun on me in the middle of the night, I'm going the fuck home.
Yeah, fuck that.
But he gets there, and he's kind of creeping around, spying on his sister on this first date. You know, with this, they're double dating or whatever with Richie and Liz. And he's kind of going around spying on them. I expected him to come find them and annoy them. I think you even said something about that, yeah?
Yeah, I thought he was to, like, just annoy them throughout the whole date. Ruin the whole thing for Buzz.
Just being a fucking cockblock.
But he never actually managed to even find them. He just walking around.
No, he found them, remember? He was watching them going into the Funhouse. That's why he stayed in overnight and hid behind the garbage cans.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think he, like, got out a little bit later, though, and he, like, got captured by some, like, random carnival guy.
Yeah, they kind of tease that he's going to get involved because he runs up to the Funhouse and is, like, trying to get in, and then he goes around the side, and the mutant comes out from under it and grabs him for a second. And then, you know, that obviously scares the fucking shit out of him, and he just turns around and bolts. And this random carny fucking grabs him. And his freak out when that carny grabbed him was legit, dude. That kid, I don't know if that little kid knew that he was going to be standing around that corner.
Yeah, that might have been, like, a surprise for him in real life.
Yeah, just to make it real. Weren't you just talking about that last night, too? Or with The Shining, where they made that bitch do that scene, like, over and over till she was...
method acting, maybe.
Yeah. Well, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th Part 4 has, like, a legendary part with that shit. But it turns out this carny's nice, or very, very pedophilic. We're not really certain which. I mean, what vibe did you get from that scene with his parents and the carny?
So it looks like the carny just captures them, and then I guess the kid, like, passes out or something, because he just...
Yeah.
It just looks like he's, like, sleeping on a couch or something, and then it, like, shows up with him sleeping on the couch, and you got the parents there, and the carny is just, like, cleaning him up with a little, like, damp towel or something like that. Talking about, I don't know what this kid's doing here, but I cleaned him up really good, and, you know, he's all good now.
He's looking at him a little too tenderly, though.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell if it's, like, creeper vibes, or he's just genuinely fucking concerned for the kid.
Yeah.
Because if you grabbed a kid and you reacted that way, you might be... I know I might be, like, super fucking bummed, and especially if he passed out. I would fucking definitely be being very nice to him when he woke up. Like, I'm super sorry, little buddy. But the parents don't seem concerned at all, which I thought was weird.
And the carny didn't seem to even try to wake him up either. He just, like, kept on patting him down while he was, like, sleeping and
saying sweet things and looking at him like...
I said, oh, look how cute this little boy is, or something like that. Yeah. Something along those lines.
It's hard for me to come to, like, a rest on what I think is going on there. I don't know if we were meant to think he's creepy or nice.
Yeah.
Which, if that was done intentionally, and it's not just us totally misreading the scene, that's kind of genius. But it's also very, very pointless, because then his parents take him home.
Yep.
And that's the end of it for that kid. So it's really time that probably could have been spent, like, killing an extra 2 or 3 friends that they could have brought with them or something. And honestly, the first half of the movie lasts a little bit too long. Because when you think about, dude, it felt like it was like 2/3 of the way through the thing before we really got to him, like, killing kids and shit.
Yeah.
The first part's fun. I'm not complaining about it at all because of all the crazy characters and the sights and sounds that we mentioned. But it feels like, you know, they could have filled it up with a little bit more murder. That's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously now with Buzz dead, getting killed off camera, and then carted back on screen by an animatronic clown, we're left with just Amy, who basically gawks in terror at everything for the rest of the movie and does very little. What did you think of the whole scene where she was walking around, though, and seeing, like, flashes of the mutant while all the fucking... Because they turn back on the power to the Funhouse when they come looking for him. So it's like all the shits, the attractions, like the gimmicks are going off. And she's just spinning around, like, totally traumatized, thinking that every one of them is going to be this mutant. What do you think of that scene?
I think it's a good way to enforce that she was a damsel in distress, and they, like, definitely displayed openly that she, like, had a lot of post-traumatic stress from, like, the recent action that was going on at that carnival.
Yeah, that whole ordeal, it clearly had, like, a psychological impact on her, and she does a good job of portraying that. I think it would have been better if there was, like, those 2 or 3 extra kids to get killed, no Joey sequence, you know, or have him with them, and it would have been made more sense if there was more build up to it and she wasn't being so fucking useless, basically, from the start.
Yeah.
You know, she's like one of the first screamers in the movie, pretty much. She's just kind of losing her shit, and she doesn't get any better, as I'm sure you can gather by what we're saying right now. Overall, she's a likable character. It's just she definitely, like, you know, you're saying, plays up that she's the damsel in distress for the entire movie. There's no girl power survivor chick moment in this. She's pretty much traumatized and in panic mode the whole time. They end up down in the bowels of this funhouse where, like, the gears and cables move all the attractions and the carts and stuff. And he follows her down there. And she ends up just kind of whacking him with a crowbar. And then he takes the crowbar and is about to brain her with it. But when he swings it back, it hits an electrical box, which I thought that was kind of cool. It coming full circle, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how he killed the fortune teller lady. And then he ends up getting it from the electrical box. And then he, you know, falls into these chains that are slowly bringing him around to these gears. You know, these giant gears that are, like, running the whole thing. Now, what did you think about, for one, Amy's fucking stupid, just standing there with her mouth open, like, not even stepping to the side, just, like, basically letting the chains bring him right into her? Is that not absolutely idiotic? Like, it didn't make sense, and it took away from me some of the seriousness of it, because it's like, oh my god, how is this happening right here? Like, he's literally basically tied up in chains, and she's just standing there, like, oh, with her fucking mouth open, looking at him, waiting for him to wake up.
It was pretty ridiculous that she just stood next to him the whole time. I think she only took like one step away, and that wasn't even until the mutant was like close enough to grab her.
Yep.
And which I think he actually did grab her.
Honestly, I think that's more of a mistake in the editing process. Like, they should have just skipped the whole part with her just standing there gawking at him. It should have happened a lot quicker. We didn't really need him slowly rounding the fucking corner on the chains.
Yeah, or just have her like walk away, and then the mutant maybe like struggle and like escape the chains or something.
Right. And then have her maybe, like, whack him once more or stab him with the crowbar, and then he falls back into the gears.
That would have worked.
What did you think about the whole gears thing? I mean, it was a fitting end. It was cool. It was a cool setup to it, but I thought it was going to be, like, bloody. It really wasn't.
I was expecting the mutant to like beat her ass after taking away the crowbar, and maybe like pushing her into the gears instead of him getting killed by the gears.
Just no happy ending. Fuck
Yeah.
this bitch.
Yeah, straight up, just like, okay, well, she's down with stress, she can't fight. I mean, she hits him with the crowbar, but doesn't even do any damage. I mean, if you can't hurt a random dude with like a crowbar, man, you stand no chance. So I didn't expect her to survive at all.
He did have a big bulbous mutated head. I mean, we don't know
Yeah.
how much of that is like built up calcium. It could be like a fucking football helmet under there or something, you know. But
That's a
still,
crowbar, though.
Yeah, she could have
Like-
stabbed him in the eye with it or something.
Yeah, hit him in the jaw or even kicked him in the nuts and like nothing, man. Like she put up like no fight at all. Just
Yeah.
straight up screams.
Just whack whack, and then
Some light
actually
crowbar smacks.
he did himself in because
Yeah.
when he grabbed it and swung it back. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that kind of brings it full circle too, because the first kill of the movie was them doing one of their own in, and the last kill of the movie is him doing himself in.
Yeah.
So these people don't really know where to land on who they're supposed to be killing at different points in this, but
You gotta be more careful while you're fighting.
yeah, you just don't swing crowbars willy-nilly when you're down in the guts of a giant machine, essentially.
Or swing axes at shadows.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. I don't know. So that, you know, then he gets sucked into the gears, and that's basically the end. She comes wandering out of this fucking fun house that's partially like started to collapse from all the ruckus they were causing in the fucking control room or the gear room or whatever. And she's just wandering away, all fucking traumatized. And the big fat lady on top of the big fat animatronic lady on the top of the funhouse starts fucking laughing at her, at which I thought was pretty fucking great. Like, imagine just surviving this whole ordeal, and then there's a big fat fucking lady laughing at you.
Yeah.
And then you got see, there's a couple of characters like we didn't mention, which is a dirty fucking hobo, a wandering tramp that just wanders around the place. No relevance to the movie. He's just there looking gross. And then there's this crazy old bag lady that searches through the trash and tells people God is watching them. And I thought that was pretty fucking funny at the end, too. She got one more in on that bitch, and she's like, God sees everything, or something.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I don't know. What did you think of the whole finale? Did you think it was, you know, what did you think of how they built up to it? And, you know, was it satisfying to you, I guess?
The build-up was okay, but I was not satisfied with the ending at all because, like, okay, so this control panel is like being damaged and there's sparks everywhere, and the building seems to be made out of like really weak wood with like really open like cracks and stuff, and it's like really loud. and you like walk through the building and stuff, or stand on top of the wood. And you would think with all how dusty it is and all that, and sparks, that place would have like lit on fire or something.
Yeah.
And then maybe like, since Amy was locked in with the steel doors and everything, and she never got the keys away from like the carnival barker, that she would have had to have waited like in like a fiery building until the firemen come and get her. But that doesn't even happen. She just like it just cuts to a scene where she just like cleanly walks through out, like, and no one knows how she got out.
Yeah, well, dude, I mean, that door that they sold to us as a steel door, Buzz says, is clearly splintered all over the cars at the end. Like, I guess it turned to wood while they were fucking fighting in the basement.
Magic.
Yeah, the ending leaves something to be desired, but there's a couple laughs thrown in there, namely with the fat lady heckling her and the bag lady. But, I expected at least a bloody finale to the creature, and we didn't even get that, honestly.
Yeah. And no punishment scene from the parents after they get home.
There really wasn't much with the parents. That's why I think it's so weird they wasted so much time on that scene where they come to pick up Joey, because his whole subplot and the parts with the parents outside of the beginning meant nothing to the rest of the movie.
Nope.
It was just there.
It's wasting time.
I guess, it was the early 80s, and a lot of horror movies seem to feel that need to have a little kid in them. Actually, that's still a thing. So he's a token horror movie kid. He's not even really part of the story. He's pretty cool. He likes monsters and pranking his sister psycho style in the fucking shower. But outside of that, yeah, he adds really nothing to it. It's just wasted time that could have been filled up with more kills. I think the kills themselves are done kind of purposely clean, But it's not a movie. Like, I think with the kills, they were going for more of like a fast, direct thing. They weren't really trying to make it a splatterfest. But the whole element of like the mutant creature killing people and stuff, it's the type of movie that you want blood and gore in. So while I don't think the kills being like not bloody ruined the movie, I think the movie would have been a lot better if there was some more blood and gore. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely, especially if you're like advertising that the movie is a slasher film, but it really isn't. It's more of a like, I don't know, almost clean melee style. With the fighting and the kills.
Yeah, it's just a sort of a classic creature feature vibe is mainly what I get from this. Like, it's just a creature feature with a sort of touching backstory that happens to have a couple of kills that slightly resemble slasher movie shit. Honestly, her little brother pranking her in the shower at the beginning was the most slasher movie part of the fucking movie.
Yeah, and they weren't even real knives. I think they're like rubber ones that just bent.
Yeah, honestly, once the kills start happening, he knocks off the first kids real quick, and then, Buzz lasts for a bit, and he has that one interaction with the carnival barker, and then it's just Amy. So there's, the entire body count of the movie, if you count the killer, is 5, and one of them's not even murdered by the killer. The other one is the killer's dad, the mutant's dad. So really, only 3 kids, like of the kids they set up to be the body count, actually die. I don't know, what are your thoughts overall on it, though? Like, if you had to sum it up, and how you feel about the movie.
I think they could have, like, fleshed out the mutant a little bit more with some, like, flashback stories.
Oh, like with his dad taking him fishing?
Yeah, where, like, a couple of, like, minutes, showing off some, like, previous kills, like, some, like, images in the mutant's head.
They could have,
what it was like or something.
Well, you could have done like a pre-fucking opener with Amy and them thing where it showed the kills, a couple of the kills from the previous time the carnival was in town that they mentioned several times in the movie.
Yeah.
But we got to see nothing of.
Yeah, it was all talk. You don't get to see any of it.
Yeah, and the dad, the carnival barker, even mentioned some little Girl Scouts that he killed in Tennessee or whatever. So either of those incidents could have been, the setup for this, and it would have added a couple of bodies to the overall count. We haven't really touched on the music. I think the score was pretty damn good, all things considered. They did a really good job of, like, building that carnival atmosphere with it, but without being too on the nose. I mean, you mentioned you liked it too, yeah?
Yeah. It wasn't too energetic, and it really understood and followed the atmosphere of what's going on in the movie.
It did. It wasn't one of those things, because, see, I think it's Dustin from Crypt of Horror, also of Inside Movies Galore, that frequently mentions that, a score should either be, like, prominent in a movie or it should be one of those scores that kind of blends in but also helps out the mood of the movie without you really thinking about it too much. And I would say this is kind of one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle.
Yeah. It's one of those things like if you really stop and listen to it, it's pretty good. But just letting it exist with the whole fucking sort of sensory overload that is the first part of the movie, it works really well. I don't know. If there's anything that you could change about this movie, what would it be?
I would have made the fights a little bit longer. I would have showed some more detail in the actual fights. I would have added some flashbacks for the mutant to really flesh out his character, because you don't really get to know him, so it's just random kills for him. And possibly showed some flashbacks of the mutant's father, like doing some of the cleanup, so you can really see like the frustration that's been built up over time of cleaning up his son, mutant son's kills, as well as like, I don't know, maybe even some like internal like thinking or thoughts or something like on Buzz's behalf, because you don't really know what he's like thinking throughout the whole movie. Like at first he comes off as kind of like forward, but then he's like, oh, you know, I'm sorry for whatever I said.
Yeah.
Like immediately he doesn't even like put it off until he's like guilt tripped. He straight up like apologizes immediately.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but that's totally true, dude.
Yeah, he even like extends his hand and he's like, oh, friends, and he like shakes her hand and stuff. And you think that he's gonna be like super friend zoned for the rest of the movie, but he's actually like getting slightly more forward throughout the rest of the movie again.
Yeah, but it's at that point they've established that, you know, I'm not just this dick that was trying to like turn you against your parents, or however that came across, because it's clearly meant to come across that way.
Yeah.
And then when he apologizes, you're kind of like, yeah, maybe he's not so bad. It's a little weird that he seems like he's given up on getting the ass, but I think that was Buzz's plan all along, you know. And it clearly worked, because he had that bitch fucking spread wide open in the fucking funhouse before they got spooked, you know.
Yeah. But you would never hear any of his thoughts. Like, there's no like internal monologue or nothing.
Yeah, or maybe just some more dialogue where
Yeah.
he fucking, you know, explains, like, man, you know, if we do die or something, I really don't want you to have the wrong impression of me, kind of like double down on it or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, I think that all those are valid points. I think adding more blood and gore would be the main thing that I would change about it. Like, cut out the parts with Joey, other than the cute part where he pranks her at the beginning, and the part where the fucking guy scares him with the shotgun. Like, after that, just send Joey home. Fuck him. Like, we don't need him in the rest of the movie. Add, like, 2 or 3 more kids for the mutant to kill, and up the fucking splatter factor. I think this would have been insanely good, and just leave everything else the same, you know. All those things you suggested to add are good choices, too. And I agree with what we were talking about, that they definitely needed more variety in the freak show part of it. Because it's just a couple deformed cows and a fetus in a jar, which is still cool. You know, I might have paid $2 to look at that stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, where's like you said, like a 6-armed Shiva chick or something like that. The guy talked about a sheep with 6 legs, but we didn't get to see it.
Yeah, there wasn't any of the like Siamese twins, like classics, no giants with super strength. There wasn't any of the like morbidly obese guys. And there was like, I think maybe like a couple dwarves, but you don't like see them accomplish anything.
No bearded lady.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have built up to it to the fucking freaky ass cleft lip cow with all the standard freak show stuff.
Yeah.
And then that would have been like because you'd have gone into it like, oh, look a strong man, fucking all the classic freak show. So holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with that cow, you know?
Yeah.
And then you go to the fetus in the jar, and that would have been a nice closer. But yeah, that's definitely a gripe I would have. But as far as like changing anything, really, the main thing I would change is just adding in more violence and making it more visceral. Would you recommend this movie to someone? I guess is like what we should close on.
At the low price it probably goes for, I'd probably recommend you just buy it and don't even waste time trying to find some way to rent it. And I think it's worth watching a one time, but I wouldn't say it has any like replay value.
Yeah, not much. I mean,
Doesn't have like a classic, like I'm gonna watch this movie over and over feel to it.
No, not at all. It's like maybe the only time I would revisit it in the future is if I was sitting down with someone to watch like every Tobe Hooper movie, which there's probably still a couple others I haven't seen, but you know, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I thought it would be fun for us to start off the revival of this fucking shit right here with some lesser known movies by, you know, horror icons. So this has been the first one of those. So I mean, is that your final thoughts on that? Like, you'd recommend it to someone to check out at least once, yeah?
Yeah, I would say just go in and give it a watch,
Yeah.
one try, and then I mean, if you really love it, I guess you can watch it over and over. But I'd assume, I mean, you're only gonna watch it.
Yeah,
one
I don't
time.
know if it's like a lovable movie.
Yeah.
I do love the stuff with the mutant and his dad, and we'll get to that obviously here. But as far as me recommending it, I would mirror exactly his thoughts on it. Just watch it at least once, especially if you're a fan of Tobe Hooper, if you're a fan of like a creature in the basement type movies or whatever. This'll get you. If you had to pick a favorite moment in the movie, what do you think it would be?
I'd probably say the first scene, which is the prank, where the little brother like scares the shit out of his sister by pretending to be like some monster with a knife.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was great. I didn't even know it was even a prank.
It almost is like a nod to, I don't know if I've shown you too many of these, but like the black gloved fucking anonymous killer Italian slasher flicks, or giallos or whatever. It definitely has a bit of that vibe at first, because all you see is like a first person shot with the black gloves. That little kid's room was awesome. He had a bunch of monster masks and shit, and then a bunch of apparently what are, replica like rubber weapons, but still he had like maces and shackles and knives and shit on his wall.
And they didn't flesh that out either. Like, you don't actually get any history on the little brother at all, so you don't find out like why he has that collection, or like why he's obsessed with the carnival and going early instead of waiting 24 hours so he can go with his parents.
Yeah, it feels like the Joey stuff is just tacked in there to have the little kid in a horror movie moment.
Yeah.
I think this does predate Friday the 13th Part 4, so I can't help but think Tommy Jarvis in some small way might have been inspired, or like, they were inspired by this kid for that character, because it totally is like the little horror kid with like, masks and posters of the shit all over his room, and he's also into like carnival shit, so there's like clowns and dummies, and then obviously like shackles and weapons and shit. But it feels like they just, the stuff with that kid could have been interesting if they did something with it. They just didn't.
Yeah.
I think if I had to pick a favorite moment, it's definitely just the stuff with the mutant and his dad when he has that talk with him. I think that would be the standout moment to me. I love how sweet and heartfelt that was. I love how it kind of gives us a little insight into that he didn't want him displayed, because it turns out the baby in the jar is the mutant's little brother. I forget what he said his name was, but Tad or something like that. And he didn't want his son, the full grown mutant, to be just a freak on display. That's why he lets him wear the mask and like, usher people into he has a storefront job basically, helping people into their carts and shit. And it's just really cool to me how they put that in there. They could have gotten away with him just being like, oh, I got a mutant son, let's kill these kids. But they very much like pushed that idea of family with those two. And it is sort of like a nod to Texas Chainsaw a little bit. You get a tiny bit of that vibe where he's like mad at him for killing the fortune teller, because she was family, right? Like, he didn't care what he did to the locals, but you can't kill carnival people because they're like...
Yeah, all of them have their own job to do, and it kind of wiping out one of them kind of makes Carnival lose a lot of money, and that puts all their jobs at risk, so it's probably a bad idea to wipe any of them out when there's only so many people in the crew.
'Tis true. So yeah, I mean, that'd be my favorite moment though, is just that talk where he's apologizing to his son. No real standout kills for me other than like the axe to the head. I think is probably the best kill in the movie. What would you say?
Definitely, if it even counts as a kill, because there was a scene where that guy that got axed in the head was also hung by a noose, so it's possible that he was already dead before he got put in the cart.
Maybe, but it seemed like he was moving. I don't know if that was from the motion of the cart.
I assumed it was.
And I feel like he sat up once the fucking blade was embedded in his head. But that could have also been because of the motion of the cart. So.
Or could have been like he got straightened out by the axe.
I mean, it kind of says something about the fucking kills in the movie, though. We're not even sure if the dude in the best kill was even dead when or alive when it happened, you know. So that part of it definitely could use some work. I get where they were going with it. And if anything, it helped the movie be viewable in like maybe a slightly edited for nudity format on TV. You know, so it's got that going for it in that department, I suppose. But Definitely not Tobe Hooper's best movie, but one that's worth seeing. Our next movie is definitely going to be Serpent and the Rainbow by Wes Craven. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that discussion. It's been a lot of fun. What do you think of The Angry Orchard?
It was alright. Beer isn't usually my thing.
Well, it's a hard cider, but
Yeah.
you know, I enjoy it. It just kind of tastes like apple cider. If you dig cider, you probably dig this because it's fucking cider. It just has a little kick to it.
Probably.
Be sure to sub up. You got any announcements for your channel? You do anything recently that you want people to check out?
No major updates for any of my Mugen characters this month.
What Mugen characters are you working on? And give them a quick explanation on what Mugen is. Some of these guys might be.
Mugen is an open source 2D fighter engine, and you can create your own fighting game or platformer if you want to go that route. And I'm working on a symbiote Spider-Man, Guile from Street Fighter. And I started doing some work for an open source Mega Man X game creator engine, and I started doing like a Mega Man X1 style 16-bit 0, and that will probably be finished by the end of the month. But I don't know if it's going to be put into the engine or used in any way, because I'm not really part of the group anymore with that character or any of the sprites that I worked on.
Aren't you doing a Sigma also?
Yep, I'm also working on a Mega Man X1 Sigma for that same engine. So anybody who wants to use Sigma, since it's going to be an open source when I release it, can have a pretty cool boss, and you still have all the major signature attacks from Mega Man X1 through 6.
That sounds fucking sexy, dude. Kind of, just in case they're curious, what's a brief sort of description of the spriting process? Like, you essentially do, like, pixel art to recreate poses and things for these characters, right? And,
Yeah.
like, animate frame by frame their moves for the game, right?
Yep, I just animate 2D images and get enough frames to make animations, then I add the motion to complete it. And personally, I like to add like more frames to the animations to make them a little bit more fluid than their regular original 16-bit counterparts.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a nice touch. And, basically, essentially, after he does this for these characters, you can then use these characters as a playable character in the game,
Exactly.
if you want to call it that. So essentially, you can build like your own crazy-ass custom rosters for your own personal 2D fighter with Mugen. So if you're a fan of any of that kind of stuff, you should look into it immediately. Do you have like a recommendation for a controller to use, or just?
I tried out one that looks like a PlayStation 2 controller. I forget what brand it is.
So, I mean, basically you just want, like, any good quality PC controller that has a good D-pad, right? Like,
Yeah, you just want something that'll work kind of like a PlayStation controller or maybe like a Super Nintendo controller.
definitely not one that looks like an Xbox controller, because everyone knows that D-pad's shit for fighting games.
Yep.
So check it out, guys. Get in there. Maybe you could become part of the community or something. And if anything, at least go over and check out Empawk's sweet builds on his fucking channel, which is just Empawk, right?
Yep.
The link will be in the description below. You guys will see him back here real soon. Stay sexy out there. Keep being sluts for cinema, because, we're never going to stop. And we're going to have tons of good discussions on here in the future. Also, there are some previously recorded episodes with my lady Jessica that I need to put out. Those will probably come out after this. And many more of those coming in the future. If you want to join me as a guest on the podcast, just slide into my DMs, baby. It's been fun, man. You ready to watch that Serpent in the Rainbow?
Yes, I am.
Alright, we'll see you guys back here real soon. Cheers.